Okay, so today we're going to be looking at Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. This is, at the time of this recording, this is the latest Smash Bros. Game out. And it is, well, in a couple weeks it'll be not the latest because of Ultimate. But this is the Smash Bros. Game on the Wii U. I do not have... this game, in quotes, was also released on the 3DS, but I do not have a 3DS, and so I've played the 3DS version like a couple times. Essentially, the goal of the development was to make them close to exactly the same game. Of course, there are differences, but I will note those as we go through this review. First things first, this game released with alongside a GameCube adapter for the Wii U, which will also be compatible with the Switch. So I can use a GameCube controller on this game. Let's go ahead and look at the basics. So we all know Mario. Let's go ahead and show off a little bit of the basics here. I got 2 minutes to explain Smash Brothers, which I did do in my previous reviews for the 64 game and Melee, but I didn't go over the basics in my Brawl review for some reason. I just forgot or assumed that most people know the basics if you've watched the previous reviews, but I will do a short version on here. Something new to this game that wasn't in previous games is you can play a flat Final Destination-like version of any stage now by simply selecting. You just press a button on the stage selection, and it lets you play this version. So the basics are: you have your regular attack with A. You can press in different directions. You can do like an up, down, forward, stuff like that. You can run and do A button attacks. If you smash the stick up or down or something, it's like this is normal. Holding down and pressing your regular attack does that. Where if you do a smash, it'll go like that. And you can charge those. The longer you charge it, the more damage you do. Of course, the percentages at the bottom also show how much damage you've taken, and the more damage you've taken, the farther you go flying. And, of course, you have aerial attacks. Oh, I missed that. So, if you fall off the stage, you can jump once in the air. Basically, that's called a double jump. So you can jump once from the ground, and jump again once you're in the air. And then you also have an up special move, which usually helps with recovery. Not always, not with every character, but with most characters. So if you're falling off the stage, you can double jump and use your up B special. Other special moves like side B, down B, normal B, neutral B are other special moves. You've also got grabs. You can grab through people in all directions. So yeah, the main goal is to knock the opponent off the stage more times than you get knocked off the stage. In a time match, of course, that's all there is to it. After you finish a match, you can look at your stats, like how much damage you gave and how much damage you took. Most of these are pretty useless information. Like max launcher speed. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean to me. Yeah. But anyway, it's there. Mostly damage given and damage taken is useful information, but that's about it. So, other game modes you have in this multiplayer version of the game are stock, so you have so many lives before the game is over. Coin match, which nobody cares about. You hit people and coins come out of them, and you steal coins from people, and whoever has the most coins at the end of the timer wins. It's basically a variant of time mode, which is its own thing. New to this game also are custom fighters, which we will get to. You can influence the launch rate. I believe these are all settings that are things in like all the Smash games. Like launch rate, handicap, you can change the stage selection, like who does it. That Omega symbol is the flat Final Destination version of stages. And then you can turn on and off most or all items. You can pick and choose which ones you want on or off, or you can select them all on or off. You can change the frequency of how often they show up. Basically having them none and off or off. If I do that, no items are going to show up because they're all off. These are all on, but frequency is none, so again, no items will show up. More rules is you can add a time limit to stock mode. So whoever has more stocks at the end of the time limit will win. You can turn on and off team attack, which is like friendly fire. So if you're on a team, if it's on, then you can hurt your teammate. In official tournament rules, team attack is on, and there's various reasons for that. But one thing is that you can actually help someone recover, because if somebody gets knocked off the stage and their like up special isn't enough to get them back, if they get hit again, they can use their up special again. So in theory, you could help your teammate get back with that. You can turn on and off the ability to pause the game, turn on and off score display, and damage display. And SD penalty is a suicide death. So, you can only change it between -1 and -2. -1 is standard. That's fair. I don't know why you would only... I don't know why it's only 1 or 2. Be interesting to have like a 0 option, because, I mean, that obviously makes it so if you have a bunch of damage and you just killed your opponent, you just jump off the ledge, so you don't lose as many points, but at least it would be something. You can change which random stages will show up. So when you choose a random stage, it'll only select from what you've predetermined. As you see the option at the top, My Music, if you pick a stage, you can choose which songs will appear and how frequently they will appear. So like there's different tunes that will play per stage, and you can just pick what you want to have play. Alright, I think that's the end of the options there. You flip right here, you can turn on and off team matches. So... Oh, I don't even have... I don't have any Amiibo with me. But I do have Amiibo. This game is Amiibo compatible, and I don't get to show that off. Because I didn't think to... I just don't have any Amiibo with me right now. So, something new... I'll talk about Amiibo in a second. Something new to this game is also 8-player Smash, which you have to go into this mode separately in order to have a maximum possible 8 people. But you can have more people sign in, up to 8. And this way, there are only certain stages available for 8-player Smash. The reason for which is a combination of stage transformations and stage size. So yeah, that's the thing. There are more stages over here. Extra stages. These stages here were all DLC, whether they were paid for or free. They were not in the base game at launch. So yeah, that's the thing. So let's get out of here and go into the other game modes. Special Smash, of course, is returns. You can just pick Stamina mode is in here. So if you want to play like to where you lose HP rather than gaining damage, that's how you enter it. You can have everyone always start with 300 damage, which makes it very likely that you're going to die in like a few hits. And then you can add funny stuff to your characters, give them abilities to be built into them all the time. Yeah. So you have like some really chaotic matches. But I'm not going to show that off, that's just crazy. And then you can pick rules, those are the same rules that we already looked at. So, if the, let's go here, games and more. Here's the vault. Here's where your trophy selection is. You have the gallery, which lets you look at the trophies that you have, which all have descriptions and such. You can rotate the model around if you want. Trophy boxes are a thing where it just is groups of trophies that fit a category, and it's just arbitrary for what the game wants to do. You can sort them by series, by category, yada yada yada. Okay. A lot of these are returning, like the Horde is just, you just look at all your trophies and a whole bunch. I do have all the trophies, so here you can see every trophy in the game right now. And boom, there's all the trophies in the game, in case you're wondering. There you go, you can see them all. Okay. Shop is where you can buy your trophies. Melee had a slot machine thing. Here you can just buy trophies. Usually they're in full stock, but I bought the whole thing out just like last time I turned it on. So that's a thing. Trophy Rush is another mode where you can get more trophies. Basically, you just you put in some coins to determine how much how time you want. Most, I think it's like 2 minutes or 5. Something like that. Anyway, so what the thing here is you destroy these boxes. The gold boxes give you the most. To build up that meter, which a trophy rush thing will happen. So the bombs, of course, are bad and will hurt you and knock you off the stage. If you stay in one spot for too long, that electric ball pops down. If you don't destroy boxes and that line at the top of the screen gets hit for too long, the stage will disappear. So that's also very bad for you. Basically just trying to maximize your time gaining trophies and stuff. Those were trophies that I just picked up there. Oh, I was standing in one spot for too long, so that electric ball came out. In fact, I'll probably show off some of that. Alright, so I won't destroy any boxes for the last 8 seconds. See if the platform disappears. So the line will turn red. Never mind. I guess it didn't go. The platform will just disappear for a while. It'll make you die, so you lose more time and are then less effective. So yeah, got a bunch of trophies. 15 trophies, 1 custom part, and 65 gold. So what else you have is you can save replays of your matches, of course, and rewatch them if you want. I've got several. Once upon a time, you could upload these to YouTube, but since Miiverse has been shut down, it just breaks the functionality of this, so you can't even post these directly to YouTube. Anyway, even if you could, they were limited to, I think, 2 minutes, something like that, unless you let the game pick and choose select clips of your match. So it would just pick like the KOs and stuff out. Which isn't a bad feature, but I mean, it doesn't work anymore because Miiverse doesn't work, so it just doesn't go through and work. Here you can save photos of your match. Here you can rewatch movies. These are like the character introductions that were shown before the game's release and some after the game's release. Here are the characters' unique endings for like classic mode and such. When you beat them, they just show this little movie to show off the character. Here's a sound test mode. So you can listen to any and all stuff that you want to listen to. You can go by series. If you want to pick out something. Oh, these are voices.
I fight for my friends.
Of course you do. Here are some game records. So the fighter records are the individual characters and how well they do. This shows you who I practice the most, and my brother actually practices the most. You can also sort, or you can focus on a particular fighter. So if you want to look at Mario's stats, you can pick him out right there. Which, I mean, I don't know. I don't find that this information particularly useful. I mean, KOs and falls, you kind of like use those together to figure out how good the character is doing overall, like hit percentage. It's just how often you hit people versus missing with their attacks. And then damage given, damage taken. These are all just raw data scores. So if you use the character more, then the number just goes up. So it's based simply on how often the character is used, all of these stats, which makes them relatively useless. If there was like a score of, say, KOs versus less falls, then that would be a good indicator of how well the individual character is doing. You know, how often they kill people versus dying themselves. Here's the actual game stats. How often you've turned on the game, how long it's been on, how many matches you've played. So this is probably the game I've played probably the most now. Where does it say? Versus play matches. I already passed it. Here we go. Almost 7,000 matches at this point on this console. And then here are the milestones. These are things that the game calls you out on doing. So like I hit 5,000 matches over a year ago. Well, not over a year ago, just almost about a year ago. Yeah. So yeah, this game took me a little longer to get everything on than Brawl. Strangely enough, I guess. Probably because this game doesn't have as much of a single-player focus. Like in Brawl, you can unlock all the characters just by playing through the story mode. This game, unfortunately, does not have a story mode. Here are some game tips. These just show up on loading screens, tell you how to play the game and stuff. Masterpieces are the demos that return from like Brawl had demos. This game has a few more than that game did. Again, they're limited time, so you can play Super Mario World for 3 minutes, as it says at the bottom of the screen there. And you can play Zelda 2 for 4 minutes. Brawl had a demo of Ocarina of Time. The highest profile game on here, it only goes up to Super Nintendo. They don't have 64 games. Doesn't look like. Earthbound for 5 minutes might be the longest demo, I'm gonna wager. Yep. Huh. So the selection, it is what it is. So here's the solo mode. You've got classic mode returns, which is unfortunately very different from previous classic modes. This is where you can wager more money to raise the difficulty, but then of course you get better prizes for doing so. Let's just go ahead and throw it. Oh, I'm almost at max. So the thing about classic mode here is it just throws you out on this board, and you pick your opponent. And very rarely do you even get a one-on-one match. Like, all of these matches are huge groups of characters, except for this one down here, which is 3 people, including yourself. The rival character is just a character that gets stronger as it goes on, so it's probably best to get rid of them as soon as possible, because after each match, the rival character will just get stronger. Oh, I hear a beeper going down, so it just picked a match for me. So yeah, you get to pick a reward up there, the little slot thing going down. I press the button, and, you know, pick a reward, so the rewards are random. So yeah, this is a free-for-all match, which is not how Classic Mode worked in the past. Is it even a free-for-all match? Yeah, it is. They can hurt each other. So yeah, Classic Mode before was like, it was either a one-on-one match or like you had a partner. And I just killed myself. Also, your stock count is limited to 2, but it refills after every match. So I'll have 2 stocks again for the next match. Previously, your stocks were like, you could pick a certain number of stocks, like up to 5 stocks for your match, and then that was all you had. And then if you used them all up, you had to use a continue. I think I might be dead. Nope, barrel saved me. Okay. I will accuse the computers of favoring attacking me versus anyone else, though. Cool, you get to see my Final Smash here. So I didn't even show off a Final Smash in Brawl, but here, Final Smashes are you hit the Smash Ball and you get a super move, or a transformation to make you super powerful. They were in Brawl. Some of them were changed for this game to sort of rebalance them. This is the first Smash game to get balanced patches, by the way. Here's a one-on-one match I can do. So, you'll see here that I do have 2 stocks again. Tons of items, which is normal. Also, the stages aren't like themed to anything. It's just random stages. So where, you know, Classic Mode before was, oh, we're fighting this character on their stage. Now it's just a random characters on random stages. So it feels kind of... It's just a bunch of random matches. So Classic Mode is hardly Classic Mode. Anyway, so I get more rewards. If I use the continue, I will lose a good batch of those rewards. Also, if I use a continue, the difficulty will drop forcibly. So, oh, you see fires defeated down there. If I'm lucky enough to get into a team match, yes, I can pick one of those defeated enemies to be on my team. So, so we went through that 3 batches of matches. The first 3 matches were all kind of related, like, the groups changed a little bit, but they were all like the same fires mostly. Well, after those 3 matches, now there's another set of 3 matches. Wow, why is Pit super strong? And then after this set of matches, then we get to fight the Mii Fighter team, which is similar to Classic Mode in other matches where it's like the Polygon team or the Wireframe team, the Multi-Man Melee groups. You know, though that's what the Fighting Mii team is going to be in this game. There we go. Off the stage. Gotta like those walk-off stage deaths. Makes it very easy to finish those matches quick. So I'm going to hopefully try to get this review to be done a lot quicker than the Brawl one. The Brawl one was an hour. The Brawl just has a lot of content. This game so much, not as much content. like I said, there is no adventure mode in this game. So there's no like character-specific differences. When you go in the single-player mode, the only thing that's different is your character that you pick. The matches you fight are going to be, again, they're all random, so that makes them kind of like generally the same. Oh yeah, I am on a high difficulty, that's why they're doing so much damage to me. Even though I'm not going anywhere. Because they're all nerfed in power for this match. So, again, I only have 2 stocks. Oh, they got me on that one. Let's see here. But I just, you know. Okay. Alright, so. After that fighting me team, now we go to the traditional Master Hand fight. That seemed a little laggy. Weird. Oh yeah, so I am above a certain difficulty. I don't know exactly what it is. It used to be like medium or hard on the old games, but this is a scale difficulty. So, you do get to fight Crazy Hand on at least a higher difficulty, where, you know, if you're at a lower difficulty, it's only going to be Master Hand alone. Dodging their fights. So yeah, fighting these guys is mostly dodging. You don't get them down to all their HP before this happens at even higher difficulties. So there is a range of difficulty where you just fight Master Hand, and there's a higher range where you fight Master Hand and Crazy Hand, and then above that you'll fight this guy. So he's got multiple forms. But the main point is that you only get 2 lives for any of these single matches, and if you lose both those lives, you have to restart. So on the highest range of difficulty, after that stuff, so if you're at a lower difficulty, it'll end right there. Even higher difficulty, you go into this Master Fortress. I'm trying to keep the enemies from hitting me. You've got these orbs you gotta destroy on this fortress to open up different portions. Man. Yeah, so that lava on the sides will kill you instantly if you just have so much, if you're above a certain amount of damage. I think it's like 100. So as you can see here, the difficulty will forcibly drop by 0.5, and it will allow me to continue. So it can get lower to the point where you don't go into the fortress, where you don't fight, you know, the shadow guy at the end after Master Hand and Crazy Hand. So that's like a real big nitpick for me, is that it forces you to change difficulty, which locks you out of a match, basically. So yeah, a lot of these enemies have the problem that I have with Brawl's single-player adventure mode. Whoa, I'm gonna be down here. And that's, they don't care if you attack them. Basically, they don't care until they're dead. Like, you can hit them, and they won't get phased unless they're gonna die from it. Which I think is just annoying enemy design. So look, they don't care until they're dead. I don't like that. So this is the closest thing you get to adventure mode, and it's in classic mode. That's the biggest extent of the single-player mode in this game, which is unfortunate. I lost some prizes there because of my continue. Another returning... So, all the characters up to Sonic are on the base game. Mewtwo and on to the right here, up to Bayonetta, are all DLC characters. And then Mii Fighters are characters you can create. Custom characters. So, let's go ahead and cover those real quick. Everything else here. Master orders are sort of like random event matches. You can pick a match to go into. And you can choose a difficulty. You'll just get a random reward based on the symbols. Like there's a Mario reward, there's a Kirby reward, there's a Pokemon reward. So if you want to see this real quick. This is just a huge match. I got one stock. The goal is to win, of course. Man, it's such a huge group. I don't even want to do this. I'm just going to jump off the ledge. So if you fail, you don't get the reward, of course. If you win, you do get the reward. You can just pick whatever match you want to go through and get a random reward. So you get like custom moves and trophies and songs, all kinds of things from this. Crazy Orders is similar, but instead of doing a single match, you pay or use a pass to go through a whole series of matches. And I'm not going to do this as all, am I? Basically, you pick a whole bunch of matches, and as you go through them, you build up like how many matches you can do in 10 minutes is how big your reward will get, but then you fight Crazy Hand afterwards to get your rewards. That part is not timed, but the matches before that are timed. So, yeah. I don't want to do this either. Stadium, of course, is the same. Multi-man Smash stuff here are the same. Rival Smash is you're basically doing the same regular thing, but there's like a CPU in there trying to kill the enemies as well, and you're just trying to get more points than them. Cool Smash, of course, you will die in a very couple of hits. Home Run Contest is the same. Target Blast is, instead of break the targets, you have Target Blast. And there's 3 different stages. And Zelda has the record? Whatever. Basically, it's kind of like an Angry Birds game. You've got this bomb here. You just kind of like build up. Oh, after a certain amount of damage, it'll blow up. And you hit targets and try to get as many as you can. There's 2 rounds. The second round, the bomb is bigger. Whoa, okay. Let's see how I did. If you get all of the big targets, you'll get a perfect score and you'll get more points. But I didn't get all the big red targets, so... that's how that works. There's various things to unlock from that. As you've seen, I've been collecting like random outfits and things like that. Random parts. That's like equipment. Which I will get to in a sec. Man. So... I guess I'm not sure how much I should retread returning things. I guess it's a quick thing to do. But target match, or the home run contest is back. Where you're just trying to beat up on Sandbag, and then the more damage you deal to him, of course, the farther he flies when you use the baseball bat. This game is nice enough to speed up that animation if he's going really, really far. That was a terrible attempt. But, of course, you can do this co-op as well, like you could in Brawl. You just have to enter it through the co-op mode. So, as you remember, we're in solo mode under Games and More. If you go to Group, you can do Classic mode as 2-player. You can do Stadium, All-Star, and Events as 2-player. AllStar Mode is the same as where you go through all the characters. This mode is open from the beginning of the game, though. Oh, I'm in group mode. So, not all the characters are represented the entire time. Of course, DLC characters are added in if you buy those. AllStar Mode is different in this mode in that every match is going to be 4 people all the time. As you defeat them, more will show up. They do die a little easier than in normal play. Another thing is that, so they're grouped in their own kind of way. So all of these characters will be who you fight in this location. Well, this is not this specific stage, but all the characters are grouped in the same groups every time, which was similar in Brawl. Brawl had character groupings. What are you doing? Got it. Okay. So, you again, of course, have character taunts. I haven't mentioned yet. 3 taunts for each character. You will usually get a random trophy over here on the side, and then it'll show you who you're going to fight next. They are grouped by appearance. So older characters you will fight last, and newer characters you fight first. Your healing items instead of 3 hearts are a tomato and fairy. The fairy heals 100 damage after you have 100 damage. So picking it up right now will not do anything. I have to have at least 100 damage for it to work, and it heals exactly 100. But yeah, once you use those up, that's all you get for healing items. I believe the 3DS game is reversed in fighter order, so you fight the newer people last and the older people first. Of course, these guys take a lot more damage and fall off a lot more easier than a normal match, so you can just kind of beat them up, especially on the lower difficulty. So let's see here. What else have I not gone over yet is that there is an event match. We'll go look at that next. The list of events. Wow, I didn't specify this in Brawl, but it is the same as in Brawl in that the co-op matches are different from the single-player matches. So the event matches you do in single-player mode are different from the event matches you do in co-op mode. So here's the event match. They're spaced out in like the yellow lines are a path that I took. I started at one spot and then they branched out in that way. Here's all of the event matches. There are different little things to do. You unlock Falco off in one way, this way. This shows who character I am. You can pick custom characters, I believe. Which I still haven't gotten to custom characters yet. So yeah, event matches, sometimes you're forced to use a certain character, sometimes you can use whatever character you want. Here we have Amiibo Fighters and characters you can both customize. So here's a bunch I have. You can give them equipment, 3 different kinds of equipment to change their stats around. They do kind of self-balance a little bit, in that if it goes up one stat, it'll drop another stat. There are different special attacks you can use. So there's 3 different kind of Miis. There's gunners, fist brawlers, and then sword fighters. So you can pick 3 different special moves for each of their specials. So like side special, there's 3 different types, and then up special, there's 3 different types. They all act differently, like a reflector, or an absorber, or an actual attack. And then, of course, you can suit them up how you want. So, you know, you can put them on different things. There's a headgear and an outfit. So there's tons of different things. These are all like unlocked in different ways. And then the equipment is stuff that you find like all the time throughout the game, just playing it. You can test them out real quick if you want. So reflector, charge blast, up special. Yeah. So I'm not going to save. So those are custom characters. They have the same thing for most of these characters. DLC characters do not have custom moves. Even though they are listed in here, you can create characters with different stats, but they don't have any other specials to choose from. DLC characters, that is. Other characters, however, they do have other special moves. Most of them are just like slight variants, like Fireball. You can have one that bounces, kind of like Mario's does, you know. You can have an Ice Ball, which is slow moving but will freeze, has a freezing effect. So that's kind of cool. It's like something like this. There's usually like a version of a move that will. So like there's a normal one, and then there's one that's like more powerful, but the jump is less. And then there's like this one that it goes up and then bursts punch all the way down. That's weird. Usually it'll be like it'll do more damage, but it'll go slower, or it'll do less or no damage, but go a lot faster. That's what a lot of special moves do. Anyway, custom characters are great for doing certain event matches and such, because basically you just throw a bunch of stats on them to improve them in any way you want, and then it's good for doing an event match real easily. Other than that, you can use them in multiplayer if you want, but that is what it is. Custom stages are back. In this, if I switch to my gamepad, if I get the gamepad out here, you can actually simply draw shapes that you want to make. If you use a grid, then it'll actually conform to a square-like shape most of the time. As you can see, it is not too forgiving. I'm just trying to draw basic shapes. And then you can test them, of course. Your crazy, crazy stages and ledges are simply attached per the game's own will. However, you can turn on and off ledges. So if a space is allowed to have a ledge like this, it'll have this little blue cross shape. And if you turn it to yellow, that means there will be no ledge there to grab. So if we go back over there now, there is no ledge to grab. You cannot grab onto the ledge here. So yeah, that's a neat little thing you can do. Here's an eraser, you can just erase stuff. The extra objects you can add are limited to springs, moving platforms, and cannons, which you can change their direction, if this will work. There we go. Change their direction. springs are pretty self-explanatory, and then you can add lava onto stuff in a very awkward way. It's kind of hard to tell it when to finish. Yeah, so adding lava to things is kind of finicky, but that's what it does. And then of course the cannons shoot you out like that. Yeah, so I like the idea of custom stages. I wish there was just something, I don't know. I think custom stages are way cool. I just wish there was more, I don't know, something to make them more, I don't know. Custom stages are cool. I don't know what else to say about it. The builder, of course, has less objects, pre-built objects, than Brawl did. So that's kind of a downside. No, I don't want to save. Yes, I'm sure. So that is Stage Builder. Amiibo is like custom fighters, but you can quote train them. They do learn from how they are used or fought against. The Amiibo Fighters do. You can give them custom special moves and stats and stuff. You can, quote, feed them equipment to permanently increase their stats. Basically, even if you don't do anything to the Amiibo but fight it and train it, its stats will get higher than any normal character stats, so that's part of why they become more difficult to beat, unfortunately. They're not just good, they get stat buffs. Here you have control options. You can turn on and off smash, the rumble, when you're just charging a smash attack. Turn on and off tap jump, which is a thing I like. So if you just tap up, if this is on, if you just tap up on the control stick, you'll jump. I prefer not to do that. Yeah, so yeah, you can change these to do different things. And you can test them. Yeah, so that's good. You can change your controls however you want. There is a 3DS control option from the main menu. If you go back out here, you can connect a 3DS to use as a controller. That's about it. That's all you can do. You have to have like an app on your 3DS. If you have Smash Brothers for the 3DS, then you just go into the Wii U selection similar to the 3DS selection to enable it. If you don't have Smash for 3DS, then you can download an app to do it, to connect. 3DS does not just connect this to this on its own. Here are the challenges, similar to the challenge board in Brawl. Yeah, the hardest one is clear Classic at 9.0 without using a single life. But you can use a custom character for that. And then similar, here's just beat Classic at 9.0 difficulty without customizations. You can lose a life in that one, but it's still pretty hard. These were hammers that I could use to clear off any of these challenges that I didn't like to get the reward. The hammers were not, you can't use them on just any challenge. So like the hardest ones, you can't use a hammer on, which to me seems kind of pointless, unless there's just like an achievement that's like annoying to do, rather than difficult. Which I didn't think anything was worth using a hammer on, but I did it. Did them all without a hammer, just for bragging rights. Here's some, here's the electronic manual, which I don't think I've ever looked at. Huh. Guess it's gonna take a while to load. Oh, there it is. Anyway, I don't care. I've already looked at the options. You can balance the sound effects and music. So yeah, you can play online. If you play online, which you can still currently do for free, If you play this on Wii U, of course. If you go online, you can play... Is it really gonna give an error? Okay. Whew. Alright. So, if you go online, you can play with friends. 1 or 2 players on this console. And then if you go, you can play for fun, which is going to be like on just random stages with all items. And it's going to be like a 4-player free-for-all, or a 4-player team match. Or you can play on For Glory, where you can play, again, a free-for-all 4-player match, or team match, or one-on-one, which is the probably most common way to play online, one-on-one. Followed by Team Smash, I would assume. Basically, For Glory is basically there's no items. These are both time matches, where one-on-one is an actual stock match, which is what you want to play if you're going to try to play this competitively. You can watch other people play and bet some coins on them to get more coins back. You can watch a bunch of replays from people. Conquest is just like certain characters are trying to win more than other characters at any given time. Yeah, that's that. And then one last thing that I haven't talked about yet is Smash Tour, which I like the idea behind it, but the execution leaves a lot to be desired. Think Mario Party mixed with Smash. You can change the amount of turns you have. I'm gonna be myself and start with 3 other random people. So basically, the thing is, there's no introduction to this. It just goes right into it. And everybody moves at the same time. You're given a few fighters to start with. You roll a random number, and then you move in a direction to pick up more fighters and power-ups, which will be added to your characters that you have. And then after every roll, you all go into a random match. Ooh, I got Cloud. I don't have any items, so I don't have any to throw out. As you may see, you will get items that you can use to throw at your opponents to change the match. I like the idea that it is just like a bunch of... So the concept is that it's a bunch of multiplayer matches, but the board adds some variety to it. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. Okay. I thought I just lost. There are a lot of hammers out here. So, for winning, I get to steal the characters that I killed, which I only killed Palutena, I guess. And then I get the bomb reward. If you lose, of course, you lose character. And then, at the end of the number of turns, you have I got one. You get a one more match using all of the fighters that you've accumulated. So, in this last final free-for-all match, you get to use all your fighters. So if you lose one fighter, then there is no fighters on the board. Where did I go? So if you die in the last match, then you go on to the next fighter, followed by your next fighter. So the more fighters you have at the end, the better off you are. For the most part, I think this mode is... It's just... there needs to be something changed to it to make it more accessible and strategic at the same time. Because right now it's too chaotic and not strategic. Anyway. Oh, I just took a picture. On accident. Okay, how do we put here? LR is start, which I can't do without claw gripping. Okay. So I think that just about brings this review to a close. That is pretty much the entire game. Pretty sure I've covered everything. Can show off the event matches for a group. I wanted to do that, but I forgot. So the event, there's far fewer co-op matches, but I mean, that's fine, whatever. There were fewer co-op matches in Brawl 2, I think. So yeah. This is Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii U. The 3DS version has some other game modes, like Smash Run instead of Smash Tour, which is kind of like a online version where you go around as a single character in a big map and collect power-ups, and then you have a big fight at the end with people that you're fighting against. For the most part, I mean, the game physics in both games are like the same. The character roster is the same. The important things are the same. And then, like, it's just a few game modes are different between the 3DS and Wii U version. Of course, 3DS doesn't have Stage Builder, I don't think. Pretty sure it doesn't. But yeah, that is the game. If you have any questions about it, you can go ahead and ask in the comments below. If you thought this video was helpful, you can please give the video a like. If you found any problems with the video, you can please leave a comment, let me know. And, yeah, just showing off, training mode here, go fast before we quit. You can, same stuff as usual. You can change, different things. Throw out different stuff. But yeah. That is the game. Ooh, you can like control when the game goes and when it doesn't. That's cool. Alright, so yeah, that's it for this game. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.